Hey guys, the Euphoria updates for Aknight and Argus dropped. They are exactly what I predicted, but let's go over them right now. Starting off with Aknight, his rank 1 Euphoria update says, at the start of the battle, you gain multiple stacks of Virtue and Rousing Morale. Rousing Morale is that whenever you use an incantation, that damage is increased by 50%, and then you lose a stack of Rousing Morale. Virtue is, at the start of the round, if stacks reach a certain number, Aknight consumes all Virtue and immediately casts his ultimate. That counts as an extra action. Cool, so you will need to stack up this Virtue as much and as fast as possible. More onto that in just a second. His rank 2 Euphoria update says that both of his incantations now are affected by ultimate might. If you use your incantation number 1 called Justice, you will gain multiple stacks of ceremonious ultimate might. If you use your incantation number 2 called Glory, you will gain multiple stacks of ceremonious critical damage. Let's move on to rank number 3 and 4 and then talk about it a little bit in its full glory, so to speak. His rank 3 Euphoria update says your ultimate will deal additional damage based on the number of enemies that are on the field. When you actively cast your ultimate and not uses due to the Virtue stacks, you will deal an increased amount of damage. When your ultimate defeats a target, you gain stacks of Virtue. That's how you get them. His rank number 4 Euphoria update says the trigger condition of Mercy, that is your insight, changes to activates when the enemy possesses a certain percentage of HP. Let me now tell you first what Mercy actually is. Mercy is that per 20% HP missing on your opponents, you deal 10% more damage and your penetration rate is also increased by 10%. Now with this Euphoria update, the percentage of 20% will decrease to, let's say, 10%, so that the damage and penetration increase triggers earlier and more. So you would gain this additional damage dealt and penetration rate quicker than you do right now. That's what this Euphoria update is about. And then additionally, Mercy, your insight, gains a new effect that for each percentage of HP the enemy possesses, Aknight gains critical hit rate. So not only do you now gain plus 10% damage, plus 10% penetration rate, no, you also gain crit rate. The question is, how much crit rate? If this is also 10%, then this might as well not even exist. It won't matter at all. Here it really comes down to the number, as this whole Euphoria update kinda comes down to the numbers, and yeah, there is something very, very suspicious, let me say it like that, about it. Let's talk about that a little bit. Because if you really break it down, then as I said, it depends on how much critical hit rate will actually be increased. But nonetheless, right, it's still gonna be slow. Your opponent has to miss a certain amount of percentage of HP first. So you will not gain this critical hit rate right out of the gate. That is already a little bit, yeah, on the weaker side, let me say it like that. Then you will have to kill stuff. You have to get knockouts with your ultimate. Otherwise, this stacking of Virtue to cast your ultimate for free as a follow-up attack won't matter. It will never even happen, and this will be like almost 100% completely irrelevant and useless, like it doesn't even exist when we tackle reveries. You won't get knockouts on a regular basis there, so you won't stack up on Virtue, which means you will never cast your ultimate for free as a follow-up attack. So, that is a huge issue. Then another issue is that I can show you this real quick, because your incantation number 1, called Justice, is extremely important here. And it doesn't hit the numbers, right? Let's take a look at the incantation number 1, Justice, which you will, by the way, need to use really often, because you will have to stack up on Ultimate Might. Otherwise, Aknight will not hit the numbers. Let me show you this right now. Let's go to Aknight and take a look at his incantation. Here you have it. This is the incantation that is the most important part about using Aknight. It's called Justice, right? It's a one target attack and it deals 180% damage. It should at least deal 200% damage. It doesn't do that. And then here again, only if the target is defeated, you grant yourself a Moxie. Again, that sounds very nice and very beneficial for him on the surface. You want to unlock your ultimate, you want to use your ultimate to knock out stuff, to cast your ultimate again, right? That's what this Euphoria update is all about. But it won't happen in Reveries. You will not get the knockout, you will not get this Moxie, and you will not use your ultimate additional times. So, in order for you to be actually able to hit the numbers, what you would have to do is use the incantation Justice a whole bunch, so that you stack up on Ultimate Might, so that you will be able to actually hit the numbers. You are reliant on stacking up upon Ultimate Might really fast. Here it depends. It says you gain several stacks by using this Justice incantation. It depends on how many stacks you actually gain. And, spoiler alert, it will most likely not be enough to be 100% self-sufficient. You will have to have another ally that also grants you stacks of Ultimate Might together paired with you in one team. That's how it's gonna go down. And even if you stack up on this Ultimate Might a lot and really fast, you will still not be a good character, at least when it comes to Reveries, because nothing here other than the Ultimate Might increases your damage output. You won't hit the numbers, and this will not be a good Euphoria update if we talk about Reveries. Other content that is like piss easy anyways, you know, you will clear it really fast, because you will constantly cast your ultimate, you will constantly get kills, you stack up on Virtue really fast, and you will obliterate. It will also be extremely nuts in like Main's Bulletin, but who cares about Main's Bulletin? Who even plays that crap, honestly, right? Let's face it. So, good Euphoria update, but for Reveries, it's ass. Oh yeah, by the way, I almost forgot to tell you that, just in case you are not aware what a stack of Ceremonious Ultimate Might actually does, it increases your Ultimate Might by 3%. That is absolutely nothing. You can stack it up to 100 times though. And that's what I was talking about. You have to stack that up, the Ultimate Might, really fast. That's why it depends on how many stacks of Ultimate Might you actually gain by using your incantation Justice. That will depend on how good this Euphoria update will be, right? In Reveries it's gonna be trash no matter what, because you will never get knockouts and you rely on knockouts. That's what you're all about. But I mean, let's just move on to Argus. Alright, here we have Argus's Euphoria update. Again, exactly what we predicted, right? It was really easy. They don't throw anything interesting in here, or no curveballs. It's just like textbook and pretty boring, if I'm being honest. Anyways, her rank 1 Euphoria update says, after taking an action, you grant yourself again multiple stacks of something called Incantation Bullet. This Incantation Bullet makes it so that when you attack with an incantation, that incantation will deal 25% more damage. Her rank 2 Euphoria update says that her Gravedigger now has a new effect. 2 new effects indeed. One effect is, after attacking, randomly increase the rank of several of Self's incantations. So multiple of your incantations will be ranked up. If the Gravedigger that you use is of a higher rank than rank 1, you increase the rank of even more of your incantations. God, the phrasing here is like really bad. Okay, so what is Gravedigger? Gravedigger is an incantation that you add passively to your rotation, like at the to the end of your rotation. And how much damage this Gravedigger will do depends on how many ranked up incantations you have in your rotation. And now Gravedigger will always be upgraded, so it will always happen, and this now additionally will rank up your incantations more than you usually already would upgrade them. Cool, so you are more self-sustainable, you will rank up your incantations more, and you will do it by yourself. Then her rank 3 Euphoria update says that your ultimate gains a new effect. If the target is under pinpointed, you will deal more damage. Woo! Then her rank 4 Euphoria says that this Gravedigger gets an additional effect. That for every 1 rank present in your rotation, you will grant yourself ceremonious ultimate might, multiple stacks actually. And you will have to have a chance to cast this Gravedigger incantation an additional time. So what is this Euphoria update all about? It is, you will be better, you will be dealing more damage, and you will be supporting the rank up team, specifically Marcus, better than you did before. This is exactly what Argus needed. She was too weak of a slot in as an option to play in the rank up team, and with this Euphoria update she accomplishes exactly that. She becomes a better part of the rank up team. Good here. What it all comes down to in the end here is, how high will the chance be to cast this additional Gravedigger? You know, we already had this complete disaster with Alexios. He also depended on a certain amount of chance to cast his ultimate again. Same for Argus here. She is a lot about her Gravedigger incantation, and now she can cast it twice. This would be massive. But if the chance here is also like 10% or 20%, then we are talking about something completely irrelevant that won't even exist in the first place. So again, comes down to how high will the number be, how high will the chance be to cast additional Gravedigger. Now, even if the chance would be really low and this stuff here would be completely irrelevant, right? You still upgrade your incantations more and you deal a little bit of more damage. That won't be enough, as you contest, like your spot in the team is contested by Hisabeth and by Mercuria. Mostly Hisabeth. It comes down, who will be better for this team, Hisabeth or Argus? Whoever takes the spot here. And if the chance of casting the Gravedigger an additional time is not high enough, Hisabeth will stay. So it all comes down to this one number right here. But you know, Hisabeth was it was a must skip character. So most people will, like at least those with a brain that just do not brain deadly you pull on everything whatsoever, right? That understand the game a tiny little bit. Those players, they won't have Hisabeth. Probably they will have Argus. Even if they don't have Argus, she will be part of the Euphoria banner in version 3.1. So it is a good way to make this rank up team complete in case you miss a piece, right? If you have Marcus and Via, but you don't have Hisabeth and you don't have Mercuria, then Argus becomes a way to make the team complete for you. And there is something to take away here. We see a trend of the game becoming slower in terms of gameplay. If you look at Blood Tide, it's a little bit on the slower side. You want to stack up a lot of stuff by playing the team correctly over a certain amount of time. We see this kind of with Dynamo as well, because you will have to get to empowered incantations with Lucy first, so that your incantations profit from ultimate might. You will want to, in theory, stack up on ultimate might. That's what at least the developers were going for. This is not how it in the end turned out, but still, that's what we are going for here. And we see this more and more and more. As well with, especially with the Aknight Euphoria here, that we start the battle off slow. And then we have to play it correctly over multiple turns to stack up on stuff that we need to stack up upon effectively. And only if we do that, we will play the team to its maximum efficiency. So we will move away from obliterating everything in a turn or 3 to battles will prolong longer, and you will have to play it correctly in order to stack up on the things that you will have to stack up to maximize your efficiency and play your team correctly. This is at least what it highly looks like, what the developers aim for, and what the future of battling looks like. Battles will take longer, but skill expression will become higher. Now, there's another thing that we can take away here for certain, and that is that the archetypes that we have right now, right, with Blood Tide, Dynamo, Impromptu, Follow Up, Rank Up, Ultimate Archetype Team, you name it, right, Poison, we will not see more archetypes, maybe Fire Sprouts, right? We will see about that. That will be confirmed in version 3.2, depending on what the planned limited character will be. Will this be another addition to the rank up team, or will it actually be Fire Sprouts? We will have to wait and see, and then we can tell for sure. But the route that we are going down here is we overflow. We make teams bloated. Like I already said with this Roboshka release, that is not a good character, but it opens up the door to build 2 Blood Tide teams. And here we are. Like, the Ultimate Archetype team is full. I was going over this in one of my previous videos. We have Recoleta. We will now have Aknight. We have Buddy Fairchild. We have Noah. We have tons and tons and tons. We have Centurion, right? That alone is like 5 Ultimate Archetype main DPS characters that I can name just out of the top of my head here. Teams will get bloated. We will have more options, quote unquote options, to slot in characters into our teams. Multiple versions of each archetype will exist. Now, for example, there is no problem anymore. You can easily create 2 different Ultimate Archetype teams. We'll have 2 Blood Tide teams. The Dynamo team is full. Now we got Chorus. She will now, it's pretty much like 100% be Dynamo, right? Like everything here is going according to plan. We predicted Robushka perfectly. Both Euphoria updates here with Argus and Aknight perfectly predicted. Why would Corvus now be the oddball, right? Wouldn't make any sense. So this is what we have to plan for. If you plan out your teams, you will need 4 and 5 teams, right? Make sure that one of your, choose an archetype which you build 2 teams about. You will have 4 different teams, and then there's one double, like double Bloodtide, double ultimate archetype team, whatever. That would be a good way to become future proof. Also, remember, in one of my previous videos, I talked about the fact that the game cannot be developed into the direction of we need 5 teams, 6 teams, 7 teams, and at some point we will need 20 teams, right? This is not how you can develop the game. If you do it like that, the game will die. So what they are doing here, right, is more characters for Ultimate, more characters for Bloodtide, more characters for Dynamo, more and more characters for the archetypes that already are overbloated, like bloated, you know. It is also very, very likely that we will move into a meta where we will have to play teams consisting of 5 characters. So also be ready for this. Yeah, most people pull on everything anyways. So what I'm saying is relevant to most players anyways, right? For most players, every single character of all time ever, no matter what, is a must pull anyways. People hate when I advise them to skip a character and not pull. People hate this with a passion and hunt me down, right? So I just wanted to get this information out there. Anyways, be ready to not build a team consisting of 4 members, but have a good substitute ready there. Or even choose an archetype to build 2 teams for. Just saying. That's it for the video, guys, though. I hope that was fun and informative. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, don't forget to join the Discord server. Take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.